Hi, my friend. I hope you're well. I hope the weather there is wonderful and giving you the opportunity to be out and about a little bit. I feel like it changes perspective so much when we can get outside and not continue to look at the same four walls. Today's workout is a foam roller workout and a TheraBand workout. We're going to be trying to kind of recreate the work of the reformer on the mat using the roller. The roller is a wonderful tool if you've done any of the videos that I had put up on YouTube. It's an amazing tool to help you really stabilize. You do find that you have to work much deeper to find the connection because you have to work so hard to keep the roller stable. And many times when we're using the roller today, it will act as your mat or your box, for example, for short box. So if you think about the size of a short box and the size of a roller, the roller is first of all much smaller than the short box, and then if you compare shapes, the short box is straight and square and the roller is round, so of course much less stable. So my caution to you ahead of time is that with any of the work that we're doing when we're on the roller, you're going to keep your range of motion quite small. You'll still feel it intensely. It doesn't feel as big or as gratifying not to be able to do these moves in very huge ways, but if you put the work in the right place, you will feel like you're being challenged as if you are working in bigger ways. So in order to set yourself up today, I'm going to have you take your roller and I'm going to have you align it horizontally against a wall and put it on top of your mat, and then let your mat kind of be centered onto the roller. And then we're going to use a TheraBand if you have one at some point today, so just keep the TheraBand kind of within reach so that you don't have to stop and start the video. So we're going to start with ourselves in the same way we always start our workouts, which is centering ourselves onto the mat, and then put the balls of your feet and your toes onto the roller and just lower yourself down to the mat with control. My head's going to come out of the frame for a little bit, but you can listen to my voice and that will give you everything you need. So place your hands next to you on the mat and press through all 5 fingers on both of your hands. Widen your collarbone, and then let's start with some pelvic curls. So press your lower back down onto the mat, and then press your heels into your mat to pull your lower back up off the mat. We're going to do this 3 times, so continue moving for me. I'm going to try to put my pelvis a little bit more in your range of where you can see. And so you're going to be pressing that lower back down and then pulling your heels to pull your abs or your lower back up off the mat. And your goal is to have your pubic bone and your 2 hip bones in the same plane. So you could put your big tall finger onto the pubic bone and the palm of your hands, the heel of your hands onto your hip pointers. And then you can kind of keep track. When you push your lower back down, you see how the top, your fingers, your long finger reaches up towards the ceiling. And then when you lift your lower back up off the mat, you find how your hand ends up being a bit more horizontal. So then take your hands off of the mat, off of your pelvis, press your entire arm into the mat, and we'll prepare for your hundreds. Bring your right leg into tabletop off of this roller, bring your left leg into tabletop, hug your inner thighs together, let your heels be on the same level as your knees. Imagine your feet are against a wall, so press your heels away without changing the position of your knees, and press your hips away. Then reach your hands long, lift your head, neck, and shoulders up off the mat, and begin to pump your arms. You're going to inhale deeply for 5 breaths. Then you're going to exhale all the air out. And inhale deeply. And exhale. And inhale again. And exhale. And inhale again. Nice firm arms, all 5 fingers connected. Your arms a piece of steel. Straighten your legs for me. Keep the pelvis in that neutral position so you're still reaching your tailbone away. You still have that natural curve to your lower back. And then let the energy be long and out through your toes. Keep reaching out of your pelvis as you pump your arms. Let's do 3 more sets of breaths. Inhale deeply. Exhale, pull your abs in and up. And 2 more. Inhale. Hug your inner thighs together, even if they're not touching. Abs are in and up on the exhale. Last one. Inhale deeply. Exhale all the air out. Pause your pumps. Bring your knees into tabletop. Lower your head down to the mat. Turn your chin to the right shoulder. Stretch the left side of your neck. Come back to the center. Turn your head to the left shoulder. Stretch the right side of your neck. Come back to the center. Rock yourself up. We're gonna do a little warm up before we get into that reformer work. So we're gonna go right into your half rollbacks. So your toes will be onto the roller. The roller will be pressing into the wall. Your heels are onto the mat. And then your hands are right behind your thighs, just gently behind your thighs. Lift your spine up nice and tall for me right here. See if you can lift without sticking your butt out. So you're lengthening your tailbone, you're lifting your waist. Then you're going to curl your tailbone, press your toes into that roller, and roll off of your sit bones, keeping your heels nice and heavy. Then keep the curl or curve in your spine. Roll yourself up, bring your nose towards your knees, but keep the length of your waist. And then lift up tall for me here, again, without sticking out your butt. So you're pulling your lower abs in, you're lifting out of your pelvis. 2 more, curl your tailbone, toes press into the roller, which is pressing into the wall. Abs pull in and out, keep the length of your waist. Your nose dives towards your knees, and at the top, you lift your heart without changing the lower part of your spine. 1 more like that. You curl your tailbone, your arms are straight. Push into your heels, lift your abs, roll yourself all the way up, and stack your spine at the top. This time, reach your hands on the high diagonal, curl your tailbone, roll yourself all the way down to the mat. And once you're here, straighten your legs for me, please, and reach your heels into the reach your arches, into the roller. And then from here, we're going to go right into your full roll-up. So reach your hands up towards the ceiling. Reach those arches hard into that roller. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat for me, please, and push your arches into that roller. Continue to push your arches in. Try not to leave the roller. As you lift your spine, bend your knees at the top, lift your spine, make your waist long, reach your fingers towards your toes. Then curl your tailbone and roll yourself down. Keep reaching your arches away in 3 and 2 and 1. 2 more at this pace. Lift your head, reach your heels away, reach your arches into that roller. Have you left the roller? Keep lifting your waist for me. Toes go towards, or hands go towards your toes. Now lift your waist more and open up your heart more. Then peel your spine back down onto the mat in 3 and 2 and 1. Float your hands up to the ceiling. Scoot yourself back into that roller if you've wandered away. Last time, inhale, lift your head, keep your legs straight, reach your arches away. Lift your waist. How far forward can you lift without reaching backwards in your pelvis? Then lower yourself back down to the mat in 3 and in 2 and in 1. Bend your knees for me, please. Put your feet flat down onto the mat and scoot yourself a little closer to the roller. We're going to begin with what would be your footwork series on the reformer. If you think about the order of exercises when you're laying on the reformer. So your knees will be bent and your toes will be onto that roll, right onto the top of that roller. And you're going to hug your heels together. Let your knees be about as wide as your shoulders. Hug your shoulder blades into the mat and press your whole arm into the mat. Then find that neutral spine. So double check with your hands. Put the heels of your hands on your hip pointers. Find your tall man, your big middle finger, and put it on your pubic bone. Get your pelvis aligned. Place your hands back down onto the mat. Now we're going to pull that roller in. So you're going to kind of put your feet towards the back edge of the top of the roller. Then you're going to push the roller away. Work the in and keep the abs lifting as you press away. And pull it in and press it away. And here's 4 and out. We have 6 more. 5 and out. And here's 6. Heart is open. 7. Hug those heels together. 8 and 9. And 10, reach the roller to the wall. Change your foot position as you would in the footwork series. Scoot your booty forward if you need to. Your arches are right at the very tip top of the roller. Hug your inner thighs together. Try to roll your toes down the roller like you're trying to hold onto the roller with the back of your toes. Pull the roller in, press the roller away. Pull it in and press away, and in and out. Let the work be on the in and keep the pelvis stable on the out. Let's do 6 more, and it's in and it's out. And here's 5. Hug those inner thighs together. 4. And here's 3. Everything on the mat is turned on. Here's 2. Here's 1. Slide your heels up to the very tip of the roller. You might need to scoot your booty back a little bit for me, and allow your toes reach up to the ceiling like you're standing on the floor with your feet. Now pull the roller in with your heels and push it away, and in and out, and in and away. Hold on to that neutral spine. Keep lifting your abs in and up. And here's 6 more. And 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Then reach your legs long, put your feet onto the wall, and then flex your feet hard for me, and then point your toes. Keep your heels connected like you're standing on the wall. And flex your feet hard onto the wall, and point your toes. And flex your feet, and point your toes. Keep lifting your abs in and up, and 2 more, and point, and 1 more, and point. Then bring your knees back into tabletop, land with your feet onto the roller. So from here, if you were on the reformer, you would be doing the hundreds again. We're just gonna do a very quick round of the hundreds. We'll do 50. Bring your knees into tabletop, and then lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Press into your hands on the mat to widen your collarbone. Then float your hands up above your hip level. You've already done one round of this, so straighten your legs through. Begin to pump your arms. Inhale deeply. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. And 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. And last one. Inhale deeply. Exhale all the air out. Pause your pumps. Bring your knees into tabletop. Lower your head down to the mat. Lower your feet down to the roller with control. And then scoot your booty away a little bit. Rock yourself up for me, please. And then we're going to change the direction of the roller. So you're going to move the roller so it is lengthwise, bisecting the middle of the mat. And then you're going to sit on the end of the roller. So here's where you need to be careful, and this is where my attorney would say, be very careful, and if you fall off, it's not my fault. And then lower your spine all the way back down onto the roller. And then let your heart be nice and wide. Feel the backs of your shoulder blades trying to carve into that roller. Your mat has just become the size of this roller right up that lines itself up to your spine. So small range of motion here. We're going to go into coordination. So for coordination, one of your favorite exercises, I know, you're going to do this one knee at a time. You're going to keep your left foot onto the mat and hug into that entire foot, especially your big toe knuckle. Press your shoulder blades into the roller and press your forearms heavily into the mat. Then bring your right leg into tabletop and lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Straighten your right leg out. Open your right leg to the side, holding on to the roller, keep it from moving. Bring it back to the center, bend your knee, and do it again. Press it out, open, close your leg, bend your knee. Last 2, press it out, open, close your leg, bend your knee. Last one, press it out, open, close your leg, bend your knee, put your foot down, put your head down. So you have 2 legs. We're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. So put all of the weight into your right side. This is where you really find out the differences between one side of your body and the other. So press into your right foot, bring your left knee into tabletop. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Hug that roller with the back of your pelvis and your shoulder blades. Press your left leg out. Open it to the little bit wider than your hip. Bring it back to the center. Bend your knee. Look at your abs. Press it out. Open, close. Bend your knee. 2 more. Press out, open, close. How are we doing on keeping that roller from rolling? Last one, press out, open, close, bend your knee, put your head down, lower your foot all the way back down to the mat. So that would be the equivalent of our coordination. Carefully roll over to one side, let the roller come out from underneath you, and then we're going to move on to your long box series, which would start with your pulling straps. So you're going to move the roller back to where it started, but a bit forward of the wall. Then you're going to lay on your stomach. See if you can see me here. With your arms fully extended in front of you, and your forearms onto the roller. Your head will be down, and then double check right now that your lower spine is in alignment. So press all 10 toes into the floor. Open your feet about as wide as your inner hips. And then press both hips down and lift your waist in and up. Let your backside be active. Then lower your head down to the mat and pull your shoulder blades down your back. With straight arms, by way of your shoulder blades, pull your shoulder blades down your back and press into the roller to pull your heart forward. So think less about up and more about forward. And then lengthen out of your waistline as you lower everything back down. And we'll do that 2 more times. Your shoulder blades glide down your back. You pull the roller in. You pull your heart forward. Keep pulling those thigh bones into your hip sockets. Then grow longer out of your pelvis as you lower everything back down. And last time like this, please. 10 toes are pressing into the mat. Your hips are pressing into the mat. Your thighs are pulling into your hip sockets. Your backside is active. Pull your heart forward, and maybe now you can bend at that rib cage and lift your heart and your gaze up. Then lower everything back down to the mat. So from here, your next move would be pulling straps. So since we don't have, we're not lifted up off the floor, we can't really pull straight back. So we're going to use the roller here. You're going to keep your left arm long on the roller. You're going to bring your right arm into a T with your palm down. You're going to press into your left arm to bring your heart up. You're going to reach your hand back towards your hip and face your palm towards the opposite wall. Then reach your arm out to that T again. Lower yourself all the way back down. Make sure you're keeping both hips onto the mat. Your hand is equal with your shoulder. As you press into your left arm to pull your heart forward, you reach your right hand back towards your hip. The thumb is down, the palm is open towards your hip. Then you reach your palm towards the floor. You sweep your arm back, you lower your spine down. You have 1 more. You pull your heart forward, sweep your hand back, pull your palm towards your hip. Then reach your hand palm down, reach it out to a T, lower yourself all the way back down. Switch arms for me, please. If your shoulders are tight, you can move your hands a little wider than your frame. Then you're going to take your left arm, your head is down, your left arm is in that T. You're going to press into your right arm and pull your heart forward with one side, pull your palm back towards your hip. Sweep your hand back to that T, lower your spine all the way back down. Keep lifting your abs in and up to protect your spine. Pull your heart forward, pull your hand back towards your hip, thumb is down, pinky is up to the ceiling, then palm is towards the floor. Sweep your hand back, lower yourself down. Last time, you pull your heart forward, you pull your hand back. You reach your hand back to that T, lower yourself all the way back down, put 2 hands on the roller, then place your hands onto the mat, bend your knees, scoot your tailbone back, and put yourself into a rest position just to lengthen your tailbone. So that is your pulling straps session. So from here, if you think about the order on the reformer, you would be moving into your short box, your favorite part, I know. So for short box, we're going to move the roller back behind us, and we're gonna sit on the roller. So the positioning here is very important. You want the roller to be horizontal, you want both of your sit bones to be on the roller, and then you want your toes to be on the wall, and your heels to be off the wall. So this is your short box. Your roller is now your short box. Your range of motion here is going to be so small. So we'll start with your rounded position. You're going to wrap your hands around your waist. You're going to press your heels towards that mat. Press your toes into the wall. Curl your tailbone, by the way, or your pelvis is just a little bit forward of the top, so that your sacrum has somewhere to go. You're gonna pull your abs in, you're gonna roll yourself back just a little bit. Then don't move that roller, roll your spine up, but don't let that roller move. And 2 more times, you're going to stay rounded. Curl your tailbone, pull your abs away from your hands, let your heels be heavy here. Now feel your pelvis connected to that roller as you lift up out of your hips, stay rounded and stay long. 1 more like this, you roll it back, it's teeny tiny. Find that work right here in those lower abs. Lift your abs in and up, lift up out of your waist and roll yourself all the way back up. Now stack your spine. Now you'll be in that straight back position. Your goal is to have your shoulders over your hips, your abs lifted, and your tailbone long, so you're not sticking your butt out like that. You're lifting your waist. Take your hands, place them right over your heart, cross like this. Keep your spine nice and long for me. Hinge out, press those heels back, and lift up, up, up. And again, lift your abs. Try not to arch that lower back. Keep reaching your tailbone towards the roller. Lift yourself up, up, up. And one more like that. You reach out of your pelvis. You lift yourself all the way back up and stay here. From here, we're going to move in that twisted motion. So you're going to take your hands behind your neck. One hand is long and fully on your neck, and the other hand is right on top of that hand. Then press your elbows apart like they're against the wall. Lift out of your hip sockets without leaving the roller. Twist your spine to the right. Could you get taller here? Come back to the center. It's going to be small. And twist your spine to the left and come back to the center. Can you do this without moving the roller? Lift your heart and come back to the center. Elbows are pushing away from each other. And center, one more in each direction. You twist, and you come center, and one more to the left. Twist, 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 and come back to the center. Perfect. From here, we're gonna go right into that tree. So for tree, you're going to scoot your pelvis forward just a little bit because you're going to be working your spine down a little bit. So your spine needs a little bit of a place to land. So you're almost going to feel like the back part of your pelvis is kind of hanging forward of the roller.